Okay, good morning. Hello, everyone. It is Dr. Delrae here. We are going to talk about gut health and longevity 101. I am so excited to share this topic with you because I struggled with my gut health for the majority of my life until I was diagnosed with celiac to truly validate and confirm a lot of the challenges that I had experienced. I struggled in a big way: brain fog, indigestion, gas, bloating, severe stomach pain, food intolerances, and it got worse post baby. It definitely increased in severity, and I was really struggling to figure out what was wrong. So until I actually tackled my gut health and understood how to heal it, I, like many of you, may not know the science behind it. And I really want to dive into that. And I want to share a picture with you so that way you can actually have a visual of your gut lining. And I actually had been curious if I had leaky gut before I was diagnosed with celiac, and ended up learning all about our gut microbiome. For those of you that don't know, we have trillions of bacteria in our gut. And when it's healthy, these organisms help us to assimilate vitamins and nutrients from our food. They help us break the food down, absorb it, and allow our body to be able to process that and use energy from our food. And the challenges that we are facing in today's world is because some of the foods that we are consuming are highly processed, full of sugar, have different neurotoxins and excitotoxins in them. We are breaking down our gut lining, and that is causing a lot of challenges, not only with the way that we absorb vitamins and nutrients from our food, but it's also causing challenges with our immune system, because 70% of our immune system is in our gut. So I actually went to school with Dr. Axe. He's a chiropractor, and I found this incredible visual of our gut lining. It's called our epithelial lining in our gut. And when we are born before the age of 6 months, we actually have what are called these gap junctions. So before we're 6 months old, there's little spaces right here that allow the nutrients from breast milk to enter into the baby's gut and bloodstream directly to help develop their immune system in a powerful way. So at about 6 months, they start to close. And some of the challenges that we have seen is these tight junctions that are not supposed to let anything into our bloodstream are now inflamed and causing a lot of these unhealthy organisms to enter our bloodstream. And that's how we start to create food intolerances, food allergies, challenges with our immune system. So if you can see right here, toxins, microorganisms, gluten. Not everybody is sensitive to gluten or has an allergy to gluten or will form one, but for people like myself, I actually have an allergy to gluten. So it causes and wreaks havoc on my epithelial lining in my gut, but also overall systemic inflammation. So once I started to understand that, and I really paid attention to how I felt after I ate, and that was my first clue, I would get horrific brain fog, and again, a lot of tummy troubles when I would have gluten or wheat, especially wheat. Especially brain fog, like I could not think or have clear thoughts. And the next day after I was exposed, it would be absolutely horrible. And that happens every now and then, especially going out to eat. It sometimes can be challenging to ensure there is no cross-contamination. But for the most part, because of a very lengthy, I would say, gut healing journey, and I'm going to share some of the things that I have done and how Isogenic Solutions have really helped with that, I've been able to heal my gut. And I will tell you, it is so freeing. You feel absolutely incredible, especially mental clarity and energy. And just knowing that you're actually absorbing the nutrients from your food is so powerful. So imagine spending all that money on an organic diet, but actually not being able to absorb the vitamins and minerals and nutrients from the food that you're eating. That happens to a lot of people now. What happens when we have these microorganisms or things that aren't supposed to enter our bloodstream is our immune system reacts to that, and we get nutrient malabsorption, autoimmunity, possibly food intolerances, The blood-brain barrier breach is what I was just talking about. It actually has the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier because when it enters our bloodstream, that can happen. And there have been some really powerful studies done. There's a book that I read called The Wheat Belly Diet that has a lot of great research in it on how wheat and gluten can actually cross our blood-brain barrier and cause many of these symptoms. And like I shared with you, systemic inflammation. So these reactions are ongoing, and it's why so many people are struggling with their gut health. So one of the things that we've done with our isogenic system and our 7-day is we have provided you with a very simple system to be able to address nutrient absorption, give your digestion a break, and be able to actually utilize tools that heal our gut. So our shakes, because they are undenatured, grass-fed, hormone-free, antibiotic-free whey protein. If you are good with whey protein, you can definitely feel free to use our whey solutions. If you have trouble digesting whey, we have plant-based solutions that are soy-free and have just nearly the amount of branched chain amino acids that we do in our whey protein. And why that's important is because we lose lean muscle mass as we age. And also the micronutrient absorption of vitamins and minerals from our shakes is so much easier when you have this delivery system in a shake form rather than trying to digest all of that food. It's like a superfood highway of superfood nutrients in your gut that again makes it just simply easier to absorb some of these vital nutrients. So we have our isolate shakes, but we also have our plant-based shakes and a lot of different types of protein for you to play around with. Maybe you're somebody that's not a meal replacement person. You can just use our isolated protein called IsoPro. We have a whey version and plant-based version. What's great about them is they taste delicious. They're convenient, they're easy, and they allow you to be able to absorb nutrients. The other components of our system that you received our cleanse, and I'm out of my bottles, so I do not have one of the cleanse bottles with me, but our cleanse for life is packed full of antioxidants. Now, antioxidants help your body combat oxidative stress and free radical damage. Those are factors that can age us and cause inflammation in our body. And so the antioxidants, and there are over 200 botanicals and herbs in our Cleanse for Life product that help your body mitigate that inflammatory process. And especially when we pair it on our fasting days. Now, I said I was going to talk about longevity too. And something that is so exciting about the research in longevity is with technology and innovation, we're getting closer and closer to understanding the disease of aging. And yes, we are now considering it, and many scientists, an actual disease. And where there's a disease, we believe that there is the ability to mitigate it, prevent it, or actually slow that down, or even now reverse the aging process. And vital components of mitigating the aging process is your gut health, because that is where we absorb the majority of our nutrients and our vitamins and minerals. But it's also where we are creating so much inflammation because of what we're eating on a daily basis. So the longevity component is so powerful. If you've heard of the book Blue Zones, it's the areas of the world where we have the most amount or the largest amount of centurions, or people that live past the age of 100. And they have commonalities in these regions. The Mediterranean diet is a very common thread throughout centurions. And movement, mindfulness, stress relief, community and connection, huge component to why people are living not only longer lifespans, but longer health spans. And there's a difference. You can have a long lifespan, but your health span, if your last 10 years of life or 5 years of life are not mobile and you're not able to move and you don't have a great quality of life, I'm sure many of us would agree that that's not necessarily a vital and healthy life. And what we're finding is people can actually live to these older ages still having the movement and mobility and vitality that they seek. And a component of longevity, two of the most studied and literally bottom line, what affects longevity the most that has been studied and backed by research is fasting and calorie restriction. Those are the two components that are even more important than a lot of the other things that we hear that are important day to day. But fasting is so powerful. Now, I always have disclaimers when it comes to generalizing, because I believe it's also important to be mindful if somebody has struggled with disordered eating, or if you're somebody that has any history or past of restricting for reasons other than health and longevity, that's something to address with a professional. But for people that are looking to be able to mitigate the aging process, fasting, and especially on our cleanse days, is a very powerful way to do so. But we also know stress plays a big role in not only how we age, but our gut health. If you've ever been nervous or anxious, where do you feel it? Not just in your heart palpitations or your breathing, but it literally directly affects our gut and our digestion, because our parasympathetic nervous system is our rest and digest component of our nervous system. And that allows us to be able to digest food, assimilate nutrients. Our sympathetic nervous system is that run from the tiger reptilian part of our brain that has been there for survival. And thankfully, as we evolved, it helped us to mitigate some of those dangers that we know were real and that we had to run from. But we are not running from that anymore. We're running from emails, and we are overwhelmed, and we're exhausted, and we are stressed on a day-to-day basis. So our adaptogen elixir is a very powerful, potent elixir that helps your body have a healthy stress response. So it's not that you're not going to have stress in your life, because adaptogen elixir doesn't take away life circumstances and adversity and challenges in your day-to-day life, but it better helps you cope with it. And that's a powerful tool. So what's included in here are some of the most powerful herbs, as well as mushrooms that have been studied to help your body adapt to stress. And what's beautiful about studying plants is when they are grown in harsh environments where they have to become resilient to the environment in order to grow, those same properties actually affect us and our body in a positive way. And it's why now you're hearing things about cryotherapy or cold therapy, about stressing your body to a certain point in a healthy way, to be able to turn on our survival genes. And why that's important is because it helps your body, again, mitigate the aging process. So we know a little bit of that thermotherapy. Another great therapy that you heard from my friend, Dr. Erin Oberlander, last night with her sound therapy session that she posted, is sound and how it actually affects the energetic frequency of our body, and is now being used in so many therapies. And we're now understanding that it is a direct channel to the nervous system and to healing and health and longevity. We also have in your system not only the shakes and the adaptogen elixir and the cleanse for life, but if you're somebody that added some of our tools for especially your cleanse days, you're going to get the little snack bites if you did the 7-day reset. And I always add the collagen bone broth, because the collagen bone broth has been absolutely essential in healing my gut, and it's been the best support tool on a cleanse day. I feel full, I feel nourished. It's something that I use for dinner time, because I love to feel like I'm drinking soup or something just a little more hearty. And it's been my go-to tool for an incredible gut health journey, as well as skin. It's really, really powerful for skin and joints too. And we have our collagen elixir that's great for skin as well. To support gut health, we know that probiotics and prebiotics are essential. Prebiotics are basically what your body needs in order to populate the growth of healthy bacteria in your gut. And things like fiber are really powerful. That's why we have our Fiber Pro. If you're somebody that struggles with constipation, or you do not have consistent bowel movements, adding Fiber Pro, it's a tasteless powder, to your shakes is a really great way to help aid in healthy digestion. We know that fiber is absolutely essential. And we also have a great amount of fiber in our new Biotic drink. So this is so good. I was shocked at the taste. It's delicious. It's light, it's sparkling, it's refreshing. It's a ginger flavor. I think it tastes a little bit like Moscow Mule. It's delicious. And it has adaptogens in it as well to help your body have a healthy stress response, also mental clarity and energy. It's caffeine free, so that's also really nice for people that are sensitive to caffeine. And we have probiotics in this drink, along with some really powerful prebiotic fiber and other ingredients to help you just have a nice little functional beverage for on the go for your gut health. And our Triotic is a really great solution for anybody searching for a good probiotic. The reason I like this one is because it's great for the whole family. It kind of tastes like honeydew pixie stick, and you just put it on your tongue and it dissolves. It tastes delicious. And that's so easy for kids to have as well. So I used to have to break open capsules, put it in yogurt, make sure that my daughter ate all of it. So this is such a great solution for an entire family. Lastly, our super mix is something that I had to talk about because it is packed full of vitamins and minerals. And if you're somebody that has struggled with your gut health, you feel lethargic, you do not have a lot of energy, you have brain fog, fatigue, all of these solutions are incredible. But if you have been struggling to absorb micronutrients, this is a powerful plant-based solution. It is it's made from the plant Moringa oleifera. And what this plant has in it is all of the trace minerals that our body needs. So think of it like a whole food form of a very healthy vitamin. And I love this product. I just notice a difference with how I feel, energy, mental clarity. I love getting nutrition from plants. It's very powerful. And that is kind of our gut health system in a nutshell. For any of you that have any questions, I would say, there's a lot of people that get overwhelmed thinking about an elimination diet. And I'll give you an example. My 19-year-old daughter was really struggling with her gut health. And, we talked about eliminating some of these really common factors in your diet that can increase inflammation. So think, gluten, wheat, processed dairy, think sugar, artificial sugars, and artificial sweeteners. And eggs even can be a really high allergy for a lot of people. And I just said, rather than think about all these things that you feel like you can't eat, let's start with what you can and really create a plan around these amazing root vegetables and low glycemic foods, and get specific on the type of protein you want to consume consistently. And, practicing intermittent fasting does not have to be an entire 24, 48 hour, I've got this, I'm going to do this the first time. I really struggled with intermittent fasting, and then also an elimination diet, because again, anytime we feel like we're eliminating something, we kind of come up against resistance. And so instead of focusing on that, I told myself, I want to just try extended periods of fasting to practice, because I would get hypoglycemic. I struggle with migraines. And so I had to really take it slow. And if you know me well, that was really hard to be patient with it. I call fasting kind of like riding a bike. You're going to fall off a few times, but if you get back on and just try and try again, it's a really, really powerful tool to help with your gut health. So common fasting periods to eat, we call it fasting periods to eating windows. The 16-hour fasting window to 8-hour eating window is very common. So for example, you are going to eat within an 8-hour period. So maybe you're going to break your fast in the morning around 11 o'clock, and you're going to eat until about 7 p.m. And that's the last time that you'll have food, and you'll fast for that 16-hour period. That's a very common way for people to just get introduced to different fasting periods. And I think the biggest challenge is most likely as you go into more of a 24 to 48 hour fast, hunger pains, hypoglycemia. That's actually why we provide some of these support tools for you on a fasting day, not only to mitigate inflammation, but for you to be able to be successful with longer fasting periods. If you can do it with nothing, great. But the collagen bone broth has been such a powerful tool to remain full and to, again, start to mitigate a lot of that inflammatory process in the gut. So start slow. If you're somebody that is intimidated by it, check, and be mindful and check yourself. If you're somebody that has struggled with disordered eating in the past, maybe you're just going to take a smaller fasting window and just stop eating earlier in the evening. That's a really good start. And maybe fasting for a couple hours in the morning, kind of pushing your breakfast a couple of hours later. Those are really great ways to just simply start practicing, and also getting used to hunger pains. A lot of times we're thirsty, we're very dehydrated, chronically dehydrated. The majority of our population is chronically dehydrated. So getting more water in, we have a great product called Hydrate. I love it. I add it to every water bottle that I have. It has B vitamins, electrolytes, raw nutrients, and it's such a great way to kind of mix up your water flavors. And that's just a great way to start mitigating your hunger as well. So I hope this answers some of your questions. I am so passionate about really studying longevity and how to live a healthy, vital life for a long period of time. So you can not only spend it in a way where you get to still do the things that you love with the people you love, but also looking at aging differently, looking at embracing the wisdom that we have while we age, and ensuring that we have vitality and functional mobility. Those are so important. And this system really helps you do that. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I love the Expert Educator series, and hope that you learned something on today's Gut Health and Longevity 101.